Good morning, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Fine.
That is good. Nachigozi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Luisa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Kodari, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Rim, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, teacher.
How are you?
For me, I'm not seeing myself.
Someone is not seeing us.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Okay, everyone, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Teacher. Good
How are you, primary 3?
We
are fine, thank you, teacher.
That is so good. I'm seeing a pastor is carrying something on the head like a DJ. Yes, please. Oh, pastor, you have dropped it down. Okay, so everyone, you're most welcome to my class. It's already time for science. Okay, let me request everyone to first mute. Everyone first mute your device.
Okay.
Yes, Nachigoze, mute your device. Daniela and Daniel, mute your device. Kisha, mute. Yonel, Aquilati, Bitek, Chitaka, Catherine, Lim, Molo, Mumuza. Okay, to those who don't know how to mute, there is that microphone down there written on mute. Tap on it. All right. And to someone who doesn't know how to do it, let me help that person. I mute it from here. Aha, very good. I think we are now good to go. There is no any background noise again. Nalu Bega can now hear people very well. Daniela can now hear very well. Luisa, you're not attentive. I can see you're there too. I don't know whether it is your brother. Tell him to first give you some time. Akwi, good afternoon to you. I've seen your message. It is already good afternoon. How is Chireka Akwi? Okay, I know it is fine. All right. I can see now the number is too good to start. Let us now kick start straight away. Sereko, you're most welcome to my class. I miss you. Rashida, you're most welcome. All right, Nabatanzi, you're most welcome. Jaden, Semuju, Arthur, Segawa, Talik, and the rest. All of you are most welcome. Divine is asking, what are we learning? Don't worry, you're going to know what we are going to learn. Meanwhile, before we start what we are supposed to learn today, let me hope someone is going to remember what we learned yesterday. Yesterday, we learned about vectors. Who can define for us vectors? Or in other words, what are vectors? Give us the definition or the meaning of vectors and some few examples. Mulunji Mikai.
Vectors are animals spread diseases causing germs.
Hey, come again, Mulunji. What are vectors?
Vectors are animals spread diseases causing germs.
All right, thank you, Mikai, for your answer. Let me hear from Luisa. Luisa also want to tell us something about vectors.
Vectors are animals or insects which spread diseases causing germs.
All right, very good. Vectors are insects or animals that spread diseases causing germs. Excellent. Examples of vectors. Examples of vectors. Priska is saying me, teacher. Priska is dying. Yes, Priska. Examples of vectors.
Mosquitoes,
Correct.
cockroaches,
Cockroach, not cockroach. It is cockroach.
housefly,
Very good. House flies. All right, that was Priska. Yes, Rim. Unmute, Rim. Unmute. Or Rim, I can't hear you. First unmute. Tap on that microphone down there. Unmute. You can now talk. Yes.
Mad dogs.
Mad dog. Mad dog or the rapid dog. Very good. Thank you so much. I can see hands are very many up. Now, who can name for us the 3 types of mosquitoes? We also learn about mosquitoes. What are the 3 types of mosquitoes? Yes, hands up. Jaden.
Tiger mosquito.
Very good. That is Sereko. Tiger mosquito. Very good. Jaden.
tiger mosquito,
Correct. Tiger mosquito. Apart from tiger mosquito, Jolie. Yes, what more? Jolie, unmute. Okay, Jolie is not unmuting. I'm going to get Chitaka. Yes, Chitaka.
anopheles mosquito,
Very good. We have anopheles mosquitoes, correct. And then any other? Chirabo? Chirabo, unmute. Okay, Chirabo is not unmuting. Let me get Mwebe's that name. Okay, unmute to tell us. Mwebembeze. Tell me.
Culex mosquito,
Correct, and Culek mosquito. So those are the 3 types of mosquitoes. We have anopheles mosquitoes, tiger mosquitoes, and then the Culek mosquitoes. Let me all people know that diseases spread by each type of mosquitoes. Shanita? You're most welcome. Shanita, unmute. Which mosquito spread malaria? Which type of mosquito? Shanita? Okay, Shanita is not talking. Then there's this person using I-10. Please, if you have not renamed your device and you're using the phone, tap on participant. After tapping on participant, type on name. Then you put there your name. Let the teacher know you by your name. Okay, so I think to save time, let the teacher tell you, anopheles mosquitoes we said there are two types of Anopheles mosquitoes, the female Anopheles mosquito and then male Anopheles mosquitoes. You find that infected female Anopheles mosquitoes spread malaria. Then what causes malaria is Plasmodia germs. Then the female Culex mosquito spread elephantiasis. Female Culex mosquito spread elephantiasis. Meanwhile, tiger mosquito spread yellow fever. Yes, so that is all about what we learned yesterday. And for today, let me share for you what I've got for you or what I've prepared for you. So there is my name in case you have forgotten my name. We are in for primary 3 literacy 1A by teacher Thomas Ojok, that is my name. So to kickstart, our ways of work remain as usual or the same. Please let us try to follow them. Now, since yesterday we have made some examples of vectors, and we started by looking at them one by one, where we talk about mosquito. For today, we are not going to repeat about mosquito. However, we are still talking about the vectors, and we are going to add one more vector so that we learn about it. Now, that vector that we are going to talk about is the housefly or a housefly. So we are going to start by looking at the diagram or the structure of a housefly in case it may appear anywhere in your question paper or someone will ask you that draw for me a housefly and name the following parts. How are you supposed to draw? How is your diagram supposed to look like? So here is how a houseflies look like, or the part and the names, where you are going to draw a housefly like this, and you are going to name the following parts. As you can see, this part here is called head. So that is the head of a housefly. That one there, the head of a housefly. Then apart from the head, there is that part which the houseflies use for seeing. That part here is called compound eye. That part is called the compound eye, and it has two pairs, one pair or two eyes, compound eyes. So we have there the compound eye. Before I go further, I would like someone to name for me this part here. Who can name for us this part here? Mulunji, can you name for us this part here? This one here? Okay, Mulunji is not talking. I'm going to ask Kisha. Kisha, name for us that part.
Antenna.
Very good. It's called antenna or the feeler, correct? Thank you so much. Then to continue naming those parts, we have this one here called the thorax, which is the middle body part of a housefly. The thorax. Then we also have here the leg. This part here called the leg. And there's this one here, which is used for flying. This one here called wing. Wing. Then apart from wing, the houseflies also have this part called abdomen. Abdomen. Then apart from abdomen, there are these parts also, which is called the spiracles. Called the spiracles. So those are the parts. Those are the parts of the housefly in case they ask you to draw and name it. Like I can see people are naming it very well. Thank you so much to those who have named those parts. So that is all about parts of a housefly. I hope no one can fail to name it or draw and name it. And another thing now, let us continue still on a housefly, where a housefly, let us talk about the futures of a houseflies, where number one is saying that with the houseflies has three main body parts. Houseflies has three main body parts. Why? Because it is a true insect. Yes. So true insects, they have three main body parts. That is to say, the head, thorax, and then abdomen. So in case they ask you that, name the three main body parts of a housefly or a true insect, you can name the head, thorax, and then abdomen. That is one feature. Then another one is that houseflies lay their eggs in dirty, rotting places. Houseflies lay their eggs in dirty, rotting places. Why do they lay their eggs in dirty, rotting places? Is for their eggs to get warm in order to hatch. For their eggs to get warm in order to hatch. I getting? Then another one for their larvae to feed. After hatching, they will develop into another stage called what? Larva. So their larva will feed on that rotting thing. So houseflies lay their eggs in dirty rotting places. Then apart from that, houseflies has airy body that enables them or it to carry germs. Houseflies has airy body that enable it or them to carry germs. Because they may ask you, don't forget, houseflies can spread diseases, and they can ask you, how are houseflies able to spread diseases? So the answer will be, it has airy body. You get that? It has airy body. Apart from that, houseflies, when they're also spreading diseases, they can spit germ in your food. They can spit germ in the food. That is how they are able to spread diseases. Then lastly, houseflies has a proboscis for sucking food. Their mouth part is called the proboscis, which they use for sucking food. So those are the features of the houseflies, or what you are supposed to know about the houseflies, though we have not yet completed about the houseflies. Then another thing about the houseflies, please let me hope you are attentive as the teacher is still explaining. Those who are writing, first stop writing. Now let us look at the life cycle of a housefly. Life cycle of a housefly. So this is what is meant by the housefly. There are stages of growth. This is what we are calling the life cycle. You get that? There are stages of growth. Now you find that with the houseflies, they undergo 4 stages of growth. They undergo 4 stages of growth. So the 4 stages of growth are: 1, you find that the adult housefly, which is this one here, the first one, the adult will lay eggs. The adult will lay eggs. So adult and eggs, now those are 2 stages of growth. From adult to eggs, because it's the adult that will lay the eggs. Then after the adult laying the eggs will get the favorable condition for them to hatch. Now, then when they hatch, they will develop into another stage called what? Larva. They will develop into another stage called larva. So another name for larva stage of a housefly is called maggot. Yes, maggot is another name for the larva stage of a housefly. In case you don't know the maggots, you can maybe peep when you peep in the toilets or the latrines. You will see those white things moving. Those are the maggots. Or any animal, dead animal that is rotting, the maggots will form on it. So the maggot, and then from maggot, it will develop to the stage called what? Pupa. It will develop into the pupa. After developing into the pupa, then the pupa will now develop or change to the larva. You get that? So those are the 4 stages of growth of a housefly, or about the life cycle of a housefly. So the 4 stages of growth in the housefly are 1, adult, eggs, larva, and pupa. We said another name for the larva stage of maggot of the housefly is called maggot. Then another name for the larva stage of the housefly is called imago. Imago. Imago, that is I'm going to type it here, is imago, like that. IMAGO, imago. That is another name for the adult stage of the housefly. So I think with that, people now know, and I'm going to ask you, you will draw for me the life cycle of a housefly, a well-labeled one. Then the next thing, now still on the housefly, don't forget, a housefly has 4 stages of growth called the complete metamorphosis. Housefly has 4 stages of growth called complete metamorphosis. That is to say, the eggs, larva, pupa, and then adult. Then another thing is that the larva stage, which is the maggot, the larva stage of a housefly, which is also called maggot, is very useful to us, or is very useful to man. How is it useful to man? You find that the maggot help to reduce the volume of feces in the toilets or latrines. That is why we are saying it is very useful. So the maggot or the larva stage of a housefly is very useful to man because it helps to reduce the volume of feces in the toilets or latrines. How do they reduce? By feeding on the feces. When they feed on it, they will reduce the volume of feces in the toilets and then the latrine, so that the toilet and latrine don't get full very fast. Are you getting? Then the next thing about housefly still is that the adult stage, which is the imago, is very dangerous to man. The adult stage, which is the imago, the one that can fly and maybe pass like this, that you see it. They are very dangerous to man. How are they dangerous to man? They are dangerous in the way that they spread diseases to man. You get that? They spread diseases to man. So that is why they are very dangerous to us. They spread diseases. We are going to look at those diseases spread by the houseflies. Then still another thing on the houseflies, the adult stage and then the larva stage are called active stages. Adult stage and then the larva stage are called active stages. Why are they called active stages? The answer is because they move and feed. That is why they are active. They move and they feed. Are you getting? Because they can ask you, why are the adult stage and larva stage of a housefly called active state? So the answer is they move and feed. Then apart from that, the pupa stage is dormant. It's dormant. Why? They do not move and feed. They just remain in one place like that. So they don't move and they don't feed. That is why they are very dormant. So please make sure you are getting some point there on what we are discussing. And let me hope I'm not so fast. Then still on the housefly, these are the diseases spread by the houseflies. Let us look at the diseases spread by the houseflies. In case you don't know, you may be suffering from any of them. So the following are the diseases spread by the houseflies. One, we have typhoid. Houseflies spread what? Typhoid. You get that? Apart from typhoid, houseflies also spread diarrhea. The meaning of diarrhea, they can ask you, what is diarrhea? Diarrhea is the frequently passing out of watery stool. You get that? Diarrhea is the frequently passing out of watery stools. When you find that when you go to the toilet, you don't waste their time. Once you squat down, it just pour out very fast. It just pour out very fast. That is diarrhea. So it is spread by the housefly. Apart from diarrhea, we also have cholera. Cholera is also spread by the housefly. It is not cholera, the way some of you used to say it. It is called cholera. It's called cholera. Then apart from cholera, diarrhea, and typhoid, we have also this one, trachoma. Trachoma is the eye disease. That disease attack or affect our eyes, where if you're suffering from trachoma, you will be feeling some sharp pains in your eyes. And the tears will be rolling down the cheeks. Someone may think you're just crying when you're not crying. It's just because your eyes are suffering from trachoma. You will always be feeling that pain. Then lastly is the dysentery. Dysentery is also spread by the housefly. Dysentery is the passing out of watery stools with some blood stain in it. The passing out of watery stools with some blood stain in it. You find that when you go to defecate, when you defecate and you defecate watery feces with some blood in it, it means you're suffering from what? Dysentery. So those are the examples of diseases spread by the houseflies, where if they ask you, diseases spread by the houseflies, we have typhoid, diarrhea, cholera, trachoma, and then dysentery. Akwi, you are not looking onto your screen. Let me hope we are still together. Are you understanding what we are discussing? All right. Then now to summarize our lesson, let us now talk about ways of controlling houseflies in our environment. How can you control the houseflies in your environment? Remember, we said environment means man and his surrounding, or environment is our surrounding. So how can you control houseflies in your environment? For example, let's say in the toilets, in the room, house where you're living, in the kitchen, dining hall, and anywhere. So these are the ways of controlling houseflies. One, by spraying them. You have to spray. You use the chemical called insecticide. You use the chemical called the insecticide. You spray it to kill them. So that is one way, by spraying them. Then another one, by smoking latrines. You have to smoke. You have to burn there the pepper or dry grass to produce the smoke. because the smoke will kill the houseflies and chase them away. So by smoking. Then another one is also by proper disposal. Proper disposal of the feces. Please make sure you don't defecate on the compound. You are supposed to defecate where? In the toilet. That is the meaning of that point. Proper disposal of feces. Make sure you defecate in the toilet, not just anywhere, because when you defecate outside, the houseflies will go there and carry the germs, then take to your food. Then later on, you start suffering from diseases. Then another one is by covering our food. You have to cover the food and also mopping toilets and latrines. You have to mop the toilets and latrines. Then lastly, burning rubbish. Lastly, burning rubbish. So those are the ways of controlling the houseflies in our environment. So I think with that, I'm going to stop there because of time. I'm going to stop there because of time. Another teacher would also like to come in. Unless you have a question where you have not understood, you can also let me know. It's your time. Yes? Rim is just waving bye-bye. Let me hope you have understood what we have discussed about the housefly. Onito, is your hand up? Okay, Kisha want to talk. Kisha, unmute. Jonelle is saying it's fine.
What is spread by typhoid?
Yes?
How is typhoid spread? How is typhoid spread?
Okay, typhoid, if someone suffering from typhoid defecate in an open place, you find that the vector like the housefly can go and carry the germs from the feces and then take to the food. Then you who is healthy, you're not suffering from typhoid, you will eat that food and then you eat the germs and you suffer from typhoid. Kisha, are you getting?
Yes.
Okay, any other? Yes, Mulunji, is your hands up? Okay, if there is no any other question, you can unmute and you tell teacher bye-bye as we stop here. We are going to meet again tomorrow the same time.
Teacher.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher. Bye, bye, teacher.
Okay.
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
Don't-
teacher.
All right, wait for another teacher.
Bye,
to come.
Bye, teacher.
Teacher.